Vegeta is one of the most brilliantly written characters not just in Dragon Ball, but in the anime medium in general. And I can confidently say that he is the best deuteragonist in the anime medium. That is someone who is secondary to the protagonist. Of course, you guys are welcome to change my mind in the comment sections, but hear me out for a few minutes. In this video, we're going to talk about exactly what makes Vegeta such an exceptionally written character. My name is TK, let's get into some anime. I'd say at this point, get yourself some chips and soda because this video is about to get very interesting. Now first we have to understand Vegeta's origins. As a son of King Vegeta, he was going to be the eventual king of the Saiyans. He was destined for greatness, but Frieza made the Saiyans surrender and then turned them into his dogs. Then there's also an instance where Vegeta sees his father getting stepped on by Beerus himself. I guess it's safe to say that even though Vegeta was the prince of this legendary warrior race, he was still being oppressed. He had to follow Frieza's orders. Heck, in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, we saw only how a month before Planet Vegeta was destroyed, Vegeta and Raditz receive orders to return home, but Vegeta just flat out ignores them. He tells Raditz to just pretend that he didn't hear anything. Moving on, let's go right into the events of Dragon Ball Z. After hearing Raditz's dying report of the Dragon Balls, he and Nappa decide to come to Earth to wish for immortality. Yes, at this point in time, Vegeta is a tyrant. He was still in Frieza's shadow, but he was also a tyrant. He is impressed by Goku's power level, however, when he meets him on Earth for the first time. It's over 9,000 after all, but when Nappa loses to Goku, he kills him himself. It isn't even pride we're talking about at this point. Vegeta was just a villain. Nothing more, nothing less. He was a shallow elitist at best, and an unrepentant villain at worst. Though let me say it again, back during the Saiyan saga, Vegeta didn't have the pride we think so highly of. We have to remember that at the tail end of his battle with Goku, Vegeta doesn't face his death like the prideful warrior he later claims himself to be. No, he retreats instead. It's all thanks to Goku taking chances with him like he did with Piccolo that Vegeta is allowed to even leave Earth in the first place. And he just vows to make Goku regret ever sparring him. You guys see what I'm getting at? There's a fine line between being arrogant and being prideful. Vegeta at this point was arrogant, but he was not prideful. Following his escape from Earth, Vegeta heads to Planet Namek in order to use their Dragon Balls. He is still in his old persona, but naturally, considering how no man who fights Goku is ever the same as before the fight, Vegeta started showing signs of being a much more layered character during the Namek saga. Remember guys, Vegeta's development was never straightforward. Sometimes it's like taking one step forward, but 2 steps backward. Yet other times, he just takes a quantum leap. His transition from being a hardcore villain to a Z fighter was not smooth. And it's not just him who received the development either. His pride had to evolve alongside him. The Namek saga explores Vegeta's character in a lot of ways. We see him lose to Zarbon first, but then when he fights him again, he wins. This is his pride. He genuinely believes himself to be one of the ones who will become the Super Saiyan and end their race's #1 enemy. He asks Krillin to fatally wound and leave him on the verge of death, as that would help him transform into a Super Saiyan. There is a bit of awkwardness when Dende doesn't heal him immediately, but he eventually does. However, as fate would have it, Vegeta didn't transform into a Super Saiyan. He gets brutally mauled by Frieza, and once again, it's not just him getting mauled, his pride is getting mauled with him. That's why when Goku appears, he sets aside his pride and sincerely asks Goku to finish Frieza for their sake. He died with the realization that he cannot kill the man who killed his father and destroyed his planet. He had to ask Goku to do it. And since Goku accomplished what was supposed to be Vegeta's life goal, Vegeta starts idolizing him. But then again, Vegeta's growth is never linear. During the Android saga, he allows Cell to reach perfect form just for the purpose of satisfying his pride. This eventually leads to the death of his own son. And do you know what Vegeta says? He apologizes to Gohan. And once Cell is defeated, he just stares down in absolute defeat. He has been beaten by Goku in more ways than one. First by Goku's own actions, and then through his son. He comments about Goku's death, how he died without fear, and asks himself what that makes him. He declares that he is no longer a warrior and vows to never fight again. Vegeta still idolizes Goku, perhaps even more than before, and that's more or less why he realizes that he is never going to catch up to him. That's why he feels so defeated. However, as fate would have it, he sacrifices himself in hopes of killing Buu, just like how Goku sacrificed himself in hopes of killing Cell. He did it after settling the score with Goku, after giving his son a hug and telling him that he loves him, and after stating that he is doing it for his family and also for him, Kakarot. This was Vegeta's way of making amends for being selfish, even though it doesn't work. This right here is the point where Vegeta finally took that quantum leap. Akira Toriyama couldn't have written a moment more befitting Vegeta's character. Vegeta knew that he is not like Goku. He can't be the same hero, so he died on his own terms. It may seem like a selfless act, but for Vegeta this too was selfish. He murdered innocent people during the martial arts tournament. He fought Goku knowing full well the risks, and then he went out on his own terms. During the fight against Kid Buu on the planet of the Kais, when Goku takes over for him, Vegeta recalls everything that has happened since he first met Goku. He thinks about their different attributes and attitudes toward their families, how his family and friends make him stronger. But for Vegeta, his power didn't increase at all. He talks about the contrast between him and Goku, how he always fought to kill, to tear down, to display his power, while Goku showed mercy to his fiercest enemies. Unlike him, Goku fought only for the sake of testing his own limits and protecting those important to him. Now, Vegeta may have known this the entire series, but for the first time ever he fully acknowledges that Goku is better than him. He smiles as he calls him the best.
Hang in there, Kakarot. You are number one.
Fast forward to the climax of the Buu saga, Goku communicates to the Namekians and asks for 3 wishes. The restoration of Earth, the revival of all the innocent people who have died since Babidi and Dabura came to the planet, and the 3rd wish being the full recovery of his own strength. When Vegeta asks him why he worded the 2nd wish the way he did, Goku replies that it is so the people he killed during the tournament are also brought back to life. Together, and also thanks to Mr. Satan's help, they defeat Majin Buu. After all this time, Goku and Vegeta are now more than rivals. They're finally friends. I'd say Vegeta's growth is a culmination of everything that makes Dragon Ball so great. It's a testament to a man's potential for change and growth. It's also a clear representation of a man's duality. How even after realizing and accepting things, Vegeta wasn't above going back to his old self. Moving on in Super, we see the same Vegeta who could only watch as his father was stepped on by Beerus, just flip when he sees Beerus hit Bulma. Look how far we've come. What do you think, guys? Is Vegeta really the best anime deuteragonist, or am I tripping? As always, I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts. Let us continue the discussion in the comment section below. And once again, my name is TK. Thanks for listening.
挽回千本桜影吉